Hello, hello, hello. Hello, friends, loved ones, amazing people, badasses of the internet. I am really excited to host you this morning. It is, of course, the Coffee Run Live, episode 255, I am pretty sure. Thank God it's Friday. Don't know about you. This has been, although I'm feeling really pumped and energized and really actually quite excited about today, it's been a really long week. We've had hello, I can't see who that is. I'm just going to turn the Wi-Fi off because that's going to cause problems most likely. Welcome. It's not actually showing. I saw the thumbs up, the little like, do, but I couldn't see that anybody is even on live. It's really very, very strange, and I apologize for the big chestiness in the screen. I don't apologize for that. That was just what needed to obviously happen. So welcome to Friday. I would love to hear what you are celebrating. What is going on that's really freaking amazing and awesome in your world? Hey Karina, yeah, it's been a really long freaking week, right? So we had a really big weekend last weekend with the event, and you know, I've got to tell you, I don't know if I told you, don't know if I told you guys, what a freaking mind-blowing event. It was definitely the best event that I've put on to date, and it really makes me kind of giggle a little bit at, you know, because we think sometimes that things can't possibly get any better, right? It's kind of like, this has been amazing. Hey, Peter, like, this has been amazing. Like, how do things get better than this? How does this get topped? And then you go into the next thing and then it gets better again. Hey, Tani, and it gets better again. And it's just like, kind of like mind blown a little bit. It's just really fun. I love the shit out of that stuff. It's just really cool. But consequently, there was a really big, you know, with any events that you guys do, you know that there's a really big energy investment that goes on into the people who are in the room. And it can often take quite a bit to kind of recalibrate and play catch up. Had a really long travel day home on Monday and didn't get home until about 9 o'clock at night. So in transit essentially I got in the car to head down to the airport. Hey Carol, at like 11:30 a.m. and I don't think I got home until about 9 p.m. on Monday night. So it's it's just a big travel day, and I don't always. It actually, I was saying to somebody, I said, it's less taxing on me to travel to the States or travel home from the States than what it is to go to the Gold Coast. So that's just a kind of a little bit of an interesting little tidbit there. So anywho, really long and amazing week. It's been a whole lot of fun, but I think the thing that I've really been reminded of this week and what I wanted to share with you guys and talk with you about is how the thing that we think is wrong about us is usually the thing that makes everything oh so freaking right and amazing and brilliant. So I was chatting with somebody, and I can't even recall who it was earlier this week, and we were talking about how they show up, right? And they're typically quite calm, centered, reserved, but then there's this fierceness in them. I sort of touched on this yesterday a bit as well. And there's a whole lot of self-judgment that goes on with us, I think, and I know for me anyway, and I know for the clients that I've worked with, where we think or we've been told somewhere along the way that we shouldn't talk so much, or that you should talk more, or that you should be more reserved, or that you should do this, you should do that, you should... Hello, Sabrina. I need to show you guys something. This is really cute. I hope she'll stay. Just hang on a second. This is how you know we're live, right? So I'm on here, and then look at this little black cat going, meow, let me in. Hi, Sabrina. Not letting you in. We're busy. We're doing stuff. We're working. I'm talking to the people. You need to wait until I'm finished talking to the people. So there you go. Anyway, that's the whole cat story. This is one of the cats that we rescued underneath the house last year, nearly a year ago. She's very, very cute. Now I've completely lost my train of thought. So there you go. Like, how many times have you been told you need to focus more? Like, stay on track. Don't go off on these crazy tangents. Like, don't tell long stories. Don't use long copy. Do this, do this, do this, do this, right? And I think this is the thing where, for me, over the years, the thing that I've really kind of not struggled with, but tested at different points in time has been this thing around, well, this is how all the other people show up. Like, this is how the obviously successful people are successful, and this is what they do, and this is how they do it. So, you know, surely we should all have to emulate that. No. I think the thing that is really awesome about you is that you are you, right? And we really want to use that to be able to highlight it online. I mean, how many times, your hands up in the air, how many times have you been told that, maybe you got this on your report card or at parent-teacher interviews, if she just stopped talking and concentrated and stayed on task more, she would fly and get even better results. You know, that was something that I had, and I know that my parents heard that pretty much throughout my whole schooling life. So it's interesting then, coming into business and coming into marketing, the things that I've tested over the years have been trying to write in a certain way, trying to do my videos in a certain way, trying to do my blogs in a certain way, trying to do my live streams in a certain way, trying to do my social media in a certain way, looking at what the perceived successful people have done, like what they've been doing, and like trying to emulate some of the stuff that they've done and insert that into my world, into my life, into my habits. Now, some of them have kind of worked, but others, you know, really not so much, because they're all out there doing them, right? Where we really need to do us. We need to do ourselves. We need to be ourselves. We need to really be able to leverage the things that are really, you know, unique or too much for ourselves. So it's interesting to me how, you know, like the things that I've always been told are that I've got many words and that I could speak underwater with a mouthful of marbles. And yet when it came to marketing myself online way back when, and even, you know, a few years ago, I would really try and get the words that I had to say into a smaller chunk, right? Because I thought that was how people would consume me. I thought that was how people would resonate with me. Now, I know that there are days where I will write War and Peace, right? And as we had a very lovely, not so lovely, human being interact with us quite a number of weeks ago, you know, there's no way I'm reading that. Well, that's great. My opinion is that whether you have all of the words or whether you're someone who is really articulate and really excellent at having a smaller condensed amount of words, and you need to leverage that. Use that. Don't try and do or be like anyone else except for yourself. Now, one of the other things that I used to kind of consider, I suppose, and think was a bad thing, was that I've always wanted to, and I've always imagined that I would be famous. Always imagined that. From a very, very young child to a teenager to being on stage in school, like, this will surprise you, to be on stage in school theatre productions, to playing the violin on stage, to it always through school, to playing the clarinet, to being front and centre, to running seminars at the bank when I worked at Westpac. You know, I always imagined that some way, somehow, that I would be famous, that I would be out there and doing the things. And somewhere along the way, I was made to feel, and I don't know who said anything or why, but I kind of felt bad about wanting that. Not bad, that's not true, but I always felt like it was wrong to want that it was wrong to want to be an entertainer, that it was wrong to want to be a motivator, an inspirer, someone who, you know, razzes people up. And I think the thing, I was talking to someone actually about this the other day as well. One of the things that people always say to me is, I don't know how you do it, right? Which is a really, I guess, like at the surface level, that's a really lovely thing to say, perhaps. The next thing that they'll often say is like, oh, Nicola, I just don't have your energy. Like, I just don't know how you do it. I don't know how you have that energy. And somewhere I decided, and I don't know at what age this even happened, I was like, oh, fuck, you know, maybe that's actually, you know, it's a bad thing, because maybe nobody else can actually be like me. Now, you know, and I can sit, and it actually came up over the weekend, I can run an event and maintain a really, really high level of energy, and then, like, once the event's done at the end of the night, I like go back and I'm just like, oh, you know, I'm absolutely spent. Excuse me, bless me. So I used to think that was a bad thing, I used to think that it was wrong, that I had this ability to kind of like go. And I've often been described as like a little Energizer bunny or a pocket rocket, or, you know, just someone who, like my therapist actually used to say, Nicola, I don't know how people aren't just exhausted being around you. I'm just like, I don't think you should actually be saying that to me, because I think that sounds a little bit judgy. But anyway, like I got past that. But, you know, the thing that it is about you, whatever it is about you, whether it's that you always look amazing, whether it's that you're always inspiring, whether it's always that you're really caring, whether it's that you make people feel confident and calm and grounded and heard and not judged, like whatever it is that it's about you, that for somehow, some reason, you've maybe thought that that was the wrong thing and you needed to be more like XYZ. You felt like you should have to be like this. Then I really encourage you to let that fucking shit go, because you are amazing. The way that you are naturally is how I want you to turn up online. Yes, you might need to insert, like have an energy shot, not literally, metaphorically, you know, in order to really lead people, right? Even introverts, and I've decided that I'm a bit of an extroverted introvert or an introverted extrovert, whichever way we look around that. And I've got this ability to be able to turn it on and do the things that need to be done in order to be able to lead. But then it's also really important that I've got the time and the space to be able to recalibrate, rejuvenate. Otherwise, I'm a mess for everybody, actually. So if you're introverted, then that's great. I love that you're an introvert. That doesn't mean that you can't turn up online and still be motivating and inspiring, right? It just means that when you've gone and you've done this big energy expense, that you then make sure that you've got time to recalibrate, regroup, and re-energize in whichever way, shape, or form it is that you do that. So here's my challenge for you. What is it? And this is a bit of a journaling thing, I suppose, and a bit of an inquiry thing. What is it about you that you think is perhaps wrong, or that someone said you should be more like this, and which meant that you instead, that this is how they're perceiving you to be, that maybe you, I don't know, like what is it? What do you feel like everybody has always said to you over the years, and maybe you've taken that on? You know, I guess it's this really interesting thing. Like I love looking good. I love feeling good. I love wearing lovely clothes. I also love my workout gear. You know, I like the sequins and the bling and the stuff. And I used to think, well, like, this is back in the day, you know, what would people think of me if I was always showing up, you know, looking properly put together by my definition? I used to think that was wrong, that I would be judged, that they would think whatever it was that they would think, that it's all just, you know, this chick's, you know, full of hot air and no substance. And so like I kind of played that down a little bit. And so now it's like, well, fuck it, bring it on. Bring on the short skirts, bring on the fishnets, bring on the sequins, bring on the sparkle, like just do all the things, because that ties into that natural performer side of me, right? Snap, costume change. So what is it that you feel like is bad or wrong or not right? I used to think that it was bad and wrong to want to be one of the best, to really have that drive and that persistence and consistency in terms of the execution and the implementation. One book that I read that really helped me to see some of this was a book called Relentless by Tim Grover. Now, he talks like this guy, Tim Grover was one of the coaches for Michael Jordan. Who else? And that was through his basketball career and his brief career in baseball, and then when he made his return back to basketball as well. And it was really interesting the way that he talked about successful people, and it really had me seeing, I guess, and really accepting. This is a few years ago. I think it was 2016 that I read this book, where I've kind of gone, oh my God, there are more people out there like me, and it's actually okay to be me. And the very thing that you think is bad or wrong about that, then, you know, that's the thing that you really want to harness and that you really want to be able to actually use and leverage. Karina, being too direct, I say what I think. I have ASD, so you don't get much sugarcoating. like society is used to, treating everything with cotton gloves, but that's not my problem. It's more theirs for being so conditioned to be treated so fragile. Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't agree with you more on that. That's everybody else's shit, right? That's not yours. Hey, Jess. So, in my opinion for that, there are things, it's really funny. There are things that will come up with different people over the time, and I'll just be like, no, that's bullshit. No, that's not true. Yep, you need to go do that. Or I'll say, look, I don't actually really even care what you think. This is what needs to happen, and this is how you need to do it. And for me, that's just been I'm a no bullshit kind of girl, and you either like it or you don't. And if you don't like it, I actually don't really care. Go talk to someone else. And that's not about me being belligerent or being an asshole or being scary, which some people say that I'm scary, which I think is really freaking hilarious because I feel like I'm the least scary person on the planet. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. But I think you're right. There are not a lot of people that can handle the no bullshit stuff, right? Whether, and I'm not actually even sure what ASD is, but whether you have perhaps a condition or and I don't know what I don't know. I'm trying to be very respectful because I'm feeling a bit out of my depth with what ASD means. But like whether or not you have a condition or that's just your natural personality, whatever. Like it's just, if it's how you are, then just get out there and just fucking own it, right? I've got a client who was in the room on the weekend and we were talking about the kind of energies that we want to embrace as we're doing our marketing and as we're putting ourselves out there. And this to me really helps you. And this is actually another tip for today. If you can think of something, a word or a phrase that helps you to, autism high functioning. Oh, okay, great. Thank you. That makes sense now. Okay, great. If you've got a word or a phrase, it can help you really to kind of embody. So for me, it's badass rock star. That's the stuff, that's how I wanted to feel this year. It's the kind of energy that I wanted to feel. It also helps me with when I look in my wardrobe and I'm like, okay, what am I going to wear today? Or I'm scrolling through fucking Instagram and then these really amazing outfits come through and I'm like, no, I don't want to buy anymore, but yeah, I want to buy more. And that's going to help me feel like a freaking badass, let's do it. Damn you, Instagram marketing and bloody Facebook marketing. It's just so amazingly expensive to be the consumer, but so good at the same time. So if you've got a word or a phrase that you can use. So one of the clients in the room last weekend, we came up with bullshit slayer, right? Because she is very funny, but she is also very direct and she will just absolutely chop your bullshit out, like chop suey. So, what could you bring into your stuff? What could you bring into your marketing, bring into your positioning, bring into the way that you are marketing yourself and the way that you deliver your content to be able to go, this is who I am. This is what it's about. We're not going to even give them any reason and or excuse as to why you are how you are. It's just that this is who I am. This is how it is. Don't fuck with me. Bang, I'll tell it like it is, right? And I think that then gives you a whole bunch of permission and creates this whole sense of freedom for you to then be able to show up as you are. And really that thing that for some reason, and I mean, Karina, in today's society, I think the other thing is that when everyone is stepping on fucking eggshells, right? No one wants to offend anybody. No one wants to speak out of school because, the trolls might come out and you might cop a bit of flack, you might catch some haters or whatever. And it's just like, well, the people that get activated by that, number one, are never going to buy from you. Hey, Gerda, they're never going to buy from you. The other thing with that is that they're not going to become your advocates. And if they did buy from you, they're the ones that will go, hey, hang on a second. No, I can't handle this. This is just wrong. They'll ask for refunds and it just becomes a whole lot of problems. Bloody political correctness. Oh my God, so annoying. Yes. I think there's a lot of stuff that has just gone too far. I think there's a lot of it that is really great from an inclusiveness perspective. But I do think that for it's like that has just gone too far in my opinion, in many different realms, in many different avenues. So I think the thing that we can really do is just go, well, hey, bang, this is just what needs to be done. Hey, Bonnie, I've been thinking mine is the queen of beauty, being in the beauty industry and a leader in my field, plus I'm direct in my opinion. Well, queens don't fucking apologize, right? They don't. What does a queen do? They stake their claim. They say, this is who I am, and you're either on board or you're out. Like, I don't care either way. I mean, I personally care. I think everybody should be in my stuff, right? So if people don't like it, it does actually, like, for one part, or if they don't like the way that I am or whatever, there's a little, because I'm human, apparently, there is a little element or a little vein that still runs through me that's kind of like, oh, why did that happen? Or like, why do they like me? Or why didn't they buy? And it's like, well, you know what? It's all good. It actually doesn't really matter in the overall scheme of everything. But we've really got to declare for ourselves what it is that we want, whether you feel like it yet or not. Right now, so long as you are able to like rule your queendom in the way that which segues just so beautifully, Bonnie. I could not have asked you to put that in at a better time, actually. We've got to really be able to say that, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, and you don't have to be quite there yet, because you can declare that you are the queen at whatever it is that you are doing, right? Like, I declared myself the queen of the motherfucking internet. Now, I know that there are other people out there who are more successful than me online. I don't really care. I am the motherfucking queen of my patch of the internet, and if you either get on board with that or you don't. If you're deciding that you are the queen of beauty, then freaking claim that. I've got another client who is the queen of contradictions, which is just like the best kind of thing ever, because if you go out and say, and this whole thing around feeling like it was wrong of her. She's a wellness coach, and she's fucking badass. And one of the things that she'll say is, like, on some days, go and eat the freaking cheeseburger. Go to McDonald's, eat the cheeseburger, or eat the Whopper, or that's Hungry Jack's or Burger King. Eat the thing that you want. And then on the other hand, she's like, well, like, you've got to freaking move. Like, you've actually got to exercise. You've got to make, you've got to make good choices for yourself, right? So she said, like, one day I'm saying this, on the next day I'm saying this. And I said, well, just fucking own it. We're human. We're all humans, and we all have days where, one thing is one thing and one thing is another thing. So just get out there. That explains sometimes why people might say, but hang on a second, you said this day, and then you said this day. You're like, what the fuck is going on? If you're out there owning your thing, then it just helps people to kind of get a feeling and an understanding of what you're about. I trust that makes sense. So, what words are you going to use to sort of like, to kind of theme your presence, right? When you're looking at the profile that you're wanting to build, when you're looking at rolling out your marketing and your intellectual property, what is it really that you're declaring? What is it that you're saying? And the most amazing thing that I've seen roll out as people really step into this place of owning it is that they become a whole lot more unapologetic. They become a lot more and sound a lot more certain. They are so fucking grounded in who they are, in what they're saying and what they're doing. And you know what? That is better than some bullshit piece of marketing spin that you get that's kind of like made up and contrived, right? Because if you can really stand up there and say, well, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, and if you don't like it, then that's fine. That has a certain kind of energy that really attracts some people to you. Naturally, it's going to repel some people because they can't handle the truth. And that's fine, you're not here to help them. They might come back later on. Like if you something that's really interesting that I've seen play out has been where there are some things that get said that really activate people and piss people off. Either makes them unsubscribe or unfollow, and then they come back and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm back now, but you used to really piss me off. Okay, cool, that's great. That's my job. I see my job as an activator. Now, the activator either creates some kind of positive forward momentum that means that you are going to push forward and do something, or it means it's going to activate you to go and work on your own shit, or it's going to activate you to go and do something else that's not to do with me, which is totally fine. Like, I don't care. I mean, I do care. It doesn't bother me whether you buy from me or not. There are plenty of other people who will buy from me. I see my job as the person who is like putting that firecracker up your ass and reminding you that there is no one else on this planet that can do what you do in the way that you do it. There is not one other person on this planet who can help people in the way that you do. There is nobody else on this planet who is like you and who is going to be able to do the stuff that you're able to do, right? So your responsibility with your messaging, with your marketing, with your sales, with your programs, with your courses, with your clients, your job is to show up so that you can bring those people into you. And your job is to find those nuances, those things that are wrong with you, that are really oh so fucking right, and learn to be able to leverage those and use those in such a way that helps your people to see that actually there is nothing fucking wrong with them either, right? That they've got this beautiful stuff within them in whichever way, shape or form you're doing what it is that you're doing, that if you're showing up and you're owning your flaws, your assets, that's a shit ass word, Nicola, but you get the point, then they can see that you're not perfect, right? And when they can see that you're not perfect, but that you're getting out there and doing it and come hell or high water, then they can feel more normalized. And I think that's a beautiful thing to help us realize and help us see that we're not actually alone, that there are other people out there that are like us, for all our perceived faults and perceived flaws, that actually that is the thing that makes us so fucking special, so unique, so individual, and we just want to be able to highlight that because it makes them feel okay about what they're doing. So, bang, that's that. Now, if you want more help with actually doing this and leveraging this out in the world, you do need to be in Queen of the motherfucking Internet. If you want to be the queen and the ruler of your space online and offline, incidentally, then you need to be in Queen of the motherfucking Internet. We are going through all of the things. I've put them in the comments. I can't actually see them because you guys have been commenting in here, which is really cool and fun. Thank you. But consequently, I can't tell you what's in there. You can see it in there. We run for 6 weeks. The pre-work has launched on Wednesday, so it's sitting in there waiting for you. There are already amazing people in there, and I think that there's more space for you guys. Well, I know that there's more space for you. So if you're curious about that, jump over and have a look at the page, www.nicolamoras.com.au/internet. You can message me any questions that you have, of course, but this is really about you stepping into this energy of you being like, the hell with what anybody says. There's actually enough to go around, but this is who I am. This is what I'm here to do. This is who I'm here to help. And, you know, let's jump on board because shit's about to get real. So that's what it's all about. The curriculum is on the sales page. We roll over 6 weeks and I'm really excited to deliver it. It's just, it is the best. I know that this is some of the best work that I've done, and it's the most transformational for people. I've witnessed it since testing it over the last year in various different ways, and it's just fucking amazing. So it'd be an absolute pleasure to share it with you. It will change your life. It'll change your marketing. It'll change your messaging. It will change your future success, because I just know that that's what will happen. It's just kind of, to me, it's no freaking brainer. Now, there are 2 options. There's a general entry level. It's $11.11. There is a VIP option, which is $15.28. Yes, numbers are really important to me. And there's obviously payment plans, or maybe not obviously. There are payment options in there available for you as well. Any questions about it, let me know. But otherwise, guys, you know, it is time for you to own it. It is time for you to take a look at these things that you think are bad or wrong or not good enough to be used and to be leveraged in this online world and the offline world, and just freaking own it, right? Just own it, declare it, talk about it, and use it to your advantage, because seriously, they are parts of you that need to be highlighted, all right? So get out there, go help some people. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Any questions, let me know. Get out there, go help some people, have a whole load of fun doing it. Celebrate because it's Friday, and remember that the world is so fucking ready for your brand of awesomeness. I'll talk to you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye.